verbal mixed martial arts. Martial arts. Step steady, the technique that I unleash is first class. This is verbal mixed martial arts. Martial arts. Step steady, the technique that I unleash is first class.
Yo. Here comes the street warrior, always ready for combat. Bar structure like a horse stance, rugged format. I'm known to live from straight.
Yeah, rehabilitation's been going good. I had the cervical neck fusion in September. So I think September 11th actually. So what am I? September, October, November, December, January. I'm like 4 or 5 months now into it. So I'm feeling good. I'm going live. I'm sparring 100%. I'm being careful with who I go with and I'm protecting my neck, but I'm going 100% and I hope to be back fighting in June. I started probably boxing again, you know, like 3 weeks after, you know, not getting hit, but working on technique, drilling, hitting the mitts and shadow boxing, stuff like that. And then, you know, a month or so, 2 months in, then I was starting to just keep adding from there. You know, wrestling is the toughest thing on my neck, and that's what I got to be most careful with. It's me taking shots, me shooting in, and guys hitting me with their hips. That's what's most jarring on the neck. And you know, as far as like people always wonder, like, oh, when you get caught in like guillotines, that's not a problem really. The cranking, it's me like banging. The hard collisions is what's bad for it. The first time I hurt my neck was in college wrestling. I would lose the strength of my left arm. My left arm wasn't working properly, you know. I couldn't hold on to somebody's wrist. They could just pull away. I couldn't pick up my gym bag or maybe a gallon of milk I wouldn't be able to lift up. My arm just wouldn't work, you know, because the nerves were being pinched. So it was, you know, it's like partial paralysis really. So that was kind of a big deal. So I had to get they go in and remove the disc or once I had a discectomy, once I had a fusion. Those were when I did it in college, it plagued me for like 2.5 years where I missed 2 years of college wrestling because of it. That was probably my worst. One that everyone has seen is I tore my ACL in a fight in Japan. That one's kind of on video, so you can see that one get damaged. You know, I've had a bunch of them, but those are some big ones. But nowadays, man, medicine's pretty amazing. They go in there and cut you up and sew you back together, and you know, just like a car, you know. So it's pretty cool. Well, it's something I think a long time coming. You know, I've talked to Ricardo Laboria, the head coach, for a long time. He's a good friend of mine, and I think he's always kind of been ready. He says when I retire for me to, you know, join the staff. You know, that was always my plan. I love the game. I love coaching. I love the team, and that will be my next chapter in life, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I already started. Because now, especially with an injury, I've kind of been sidelined, so I might as well go to work while I'm injured instead of, you know, sitting around doing nothing. I might as well stay in there and try to help other guys. You know? I'm very passionate about the sport, love the sport, and it's also something I really like working with, like high-level guys. You know, just being able to train a little bit and. Oh, what do you think about this? Try this out. You know, real subtle changes. You know, I enjoy the fight game. I enjoy going to fights. So that's what I really want to do. I enjoy working with fighters as opposed to somebody off the street who's never trained a day in their life and they're not really in fighting, more of a hobbyist. I enjoy fighting as a sport. You know, I'm not into the self-defense as much as I am the real sport MMA. I enjoy. You know, I mean it's. Pretty repetitive, and you know, for the most part, it's, you know, wake up and go to the gym around 10 o'clock, you know, there until 12:30, 1 o'clock, go home, take a nap, and back at it again at 5 or 6, and then we're there for a few hours at night. I mean, that's pretty typical until it's travel time. Then when, of course, you never know where you're going to have to travel to, but when fight week comes, you know, we're bouncing around the planet, you know. Well, you know, I get like anxious. I miss training a lot. I want to fight, you know, especially when there's like some good guys, you know, around my weight. I get like, oh man, I want to get in there and go with them and see how I do, you know, like. So sometimes it sucks being on the sideline watching. When you coach, you learn and you improve your technique. You break the technique down, you think. And sometimes when I run a practice, I'll also see something somebody does and ask them to show it to the class. Like I really like that, and it's almost like kind of selfish of me because I want to learn too. You know, I'll be like, oh, this guy's got a really cool move that he's hitting on everyone. Hey, or hey, Brad, can you show the low leg kick you've been hitting on everyone? Can you show that to everyone? So, you know, I like to have everyone kind of show stuff if they got something. So I'll kind of get my own drilling and practice in too. It's about sharing knowledge, you know. Everyone's got good stuff to play with. And I met Brad back in, I think, 2006. I was staying at a house in Florida for fighters. American Top Team had a few apartments where they would allow guys to live in rent-free so they could train. And I think Cage Rage got him a spot there and said, hey, can you let this guy come over and work out with you guys? And I was living there, and they dropped him off on my doorstep and said, hey, take care of this kid for a month, you know. And sometimes it really sucked because you never know who you got at your house. Sometimes they're messy or slobs or rude, whatever. But man, Brad was a really good guy. We became really like best friends. So it was pretty cool. Definitely the highlight of my career is winning the WEC belt. You know, at that time they didn't have 145 in the UFC, so it was the most prestigious title in the world at the time. So I was considered the best guy, you know, for a year. I'd love to get back there someday, you know, to that level, but only time will tell, you know. I have a few more years left, and we'll see how it goes.
This is verbal mixed martial arts. Martial arts. Step steady, the technique that I unleash is first class.